What began as a simple April Fool's joke has become reality with this latest game from developer NekoWorks called Nekopara Catboys Paradise. The title takes after the developer's mainline Nekopara series, but features husbandos rather than waifus for the romance options. Being released as a free title on Steam mostly makes up for the sadness felt from the April Fool's trick in 2019.
うまい。おすまん。うまくて思わず大声を出してしまった。
Nekopara Catboys Paradise is an otome visual novel where the protagonist takes over the cafe previously managed by your grandfather. This all happens rather quickly after his death, and it falls onto you to make sure the cafe remains open. Running a cafe is tough work though. After all, you're fresh out of college and don't even know the basics of running one. But worry not, because you're greeted by 4 catboys who all work there, and they become more than willing to assist you in your trials and tribulations. Each of these feline husbandos has their unique quirks and personalities that add to the charm of the visual novel. One positive about this game is the light requirements needed to run it. You can pretty much run this game on a toaster and it is completely free to play. It also requires less than a gigabyte of disk space, so you shouldn't have much trouble taking on the task of running a cafe and hanging out with catboys. The free nature of the game does mean that the general visual novel enhancements might not be present, though it's nothing that will turn you off from the experience. The UI is straightforward with the standard font, and the catboys don't have the added live 2D presence, but the developers did a phenomenal job of the subtle animations. Being a kinetic visual novel, you're simply along for the ride of this lighthearted, charming adventure, as there are no choices during dialogue. The straightforward UI does have a few caveats, such as the auto mode scrolling speed not being able to be adjusted. As a result, it can take a while for the game to get to the next piece of dialogue, even after the audio finishes. Furthermore, when you select the 3 bars from the top of the screen, symbols make up the menu selections, and it's confusing what any of them do. Other missing quality of life features include an option to rewind or fast forward. Further, there are only 6 savable slots, but you'll only need 4 for each route. I also found some confusion to the controller layout not being translated to the keyboard inputs as expected. I would have preferred a brief graphic on the controls input just to limit the confusion. After getting through the introduction, you're met with a choice of which catboy story you want to read. After the choice route, you'll go through the story and skip the introduction upon starting a new game to choose a new route. Each route is rather short, but they provide you with a unique perspective on each catboy's life and their likes and dislikes. You have the fashionable Dill, who is always into the latest clothing trends and loves reading fashion magazines. The sleepyhead Laurier might seem lazy but can do a lot of things if he's motivated. The hardworking Fennel, who's very knowledgeable and makes sure everything goes perfectly. And finally, my personal favorite catboy, Sage, who loves to help people and enjoys Japanese-style food and clothing. I suggest you get ready for the shower of cat puns during each route. Very frequently, the characters will wedge a cat pun such as "come on, lend us a paw," or even the cat's meow. I found myself laughing and enjoying how lighthearted and charming each route is, even with the short runtime. Nekopara Catboys Paradise is a fun visual novel that can be enjoyed by otome cowboy lovers everywhere. The narrative doesn't overstay its welcome and is only hurt by the lack of quality of life features. Each route provides enjoyable insight into the 4 main characters, which expands on the Nekopara universe. The free nature of the visual novel also makes it an easy recommendation for the perfect afternoon otome. Noisy Pixel is giving Nekopara Catboys Paradise an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.